Steve, your team for the World Cup, your squad for the World Cup. How pleased are you with the players, the group of players you've managed to assemble?
Oh yeah, really pleased. You know, we've got one or two players who have become unavailable, you know, due to injury, but we expected that. But you know, the group that we've had to choose from, it's been a difficult choice, and that's where it should be for an international team.
And the headline story will be the inclusion of the three Burgess brothers. Talk us through why you included all three of them, and what you think each individual one brings to the team.
Well, I think that I think the attributes are there to be seen. You know, but all three of those people very, very physical, big, you know, damaging. You know, people who have done that extremely well this season, and you know, particularly Sam and George, who have probably established themselves a little bit more. You know, Tom has come a little bit from left field, but you know, the things that I've seen him do, and the things that he's capable of, I think can be a great asset for us throughout this World Cup.
And for Sam in particular, you know, England fans have been probably waiting for a fair few years now to see Sam back in an England jersey. How pleased are you as head coach to have him within the group?
Yeah, I think 2010 was the last time he was with us. You know, it's been too long in between for my liking and probably the rest of the staff and our fans liking. You know, Sam's had to overcome a couple of injuries, but he's fully fit. You know, he's raring to go, and I think him missing out on selection last year enabled him to repair his knee. He's had a great season this season, and I think the prospect of him teaming up, you know, with his brothers, but with some of the other outstanding talent that we've got within this group is great for everybody to see.
And Sean O'Loughlin as well. We saw him at the semi-final game with the boot on his right leg, but he's included. You know, talk us through where he's at with his injury and how long you think it'll take to have him up and running and fully fit.
Yeah, Sean's a really important member of the group. He's been outstanding in terms of what he brings to our team, and you know, we've got some good information on his injury. You know, we feel there's a very good opportunity of being available by the time the World Cup comes around, and we want to give him every chance to do so. So he's named in the squad. Brett Ferris will travel with us. Brett is part of a 25-man squad, if you like. He's not named in the official 24, which we have to do for the World Cup. But Brett's part of the group and will stay with the group, you know, throughout South Africa and when we return. And if there is any sort of issue with Sean whatsoever, then we'll make that adjustment.
And looking at that forward pack, you know, you must be incredibly pleased with it. It's a formidable looking forward pack there.
Yeah, we've got some good players. You know, all across the park we've got some good players. You know, but the forwards, you know, I think people will focus on that, particularly with three Burgess is named within that, and James Graham, who obviously we're aware of. But you know, it's good. You know, we've got some strength in depth, and there's some names who, you know, when you look at the experience that we've lost, you know, recent times, you know, Jamie Peacock retiring, and you know, we've not selected Adrian Morley, Gareth Carvell, and John Wilkin this time round, and Jamie Jones Buchanan's injured. So we've, you know, when you look at the depth that we've got, the players that we've got, it's outstanding. And yeah, I think for a long period to come now, hopefully that we can stay in that position. You know, there's a grand final to be played. There's an intense training camp. You know, there's a warm-up game against Italy, and I'm sure within that period of time, you know, we may pick up an injury or two. You know, it happens. You know, like I said, with what we've got. So we've got our England Knights who are getting ready to play Samoa. They're all on standby, and we've got a lot of other good players who have missed out on this squad, ready to jump in and take the breach if needed.
You know, if you were summing up your team from the outside looking in, perhaps one of the other coaches of the other nations, you know, what would you say you've got within your group of players that, you know, going into this World Cup campaign?
I think we've got some size. I think we've got strength and power. I think we're going to be organised. I think we've got some ability in our outside backs to really finish off some things. We've got some speed, some genuine speed, and that's how an international team should be, shouldn't it? Really, it should really have most of the attributes that's needed to compete. We know the teams we're competing against are going to have that as well. You're sort of setting milestones along the way. You know, you're a year out of the World Cup, you're 6 months from it, you're 90 days from it, and suddenly you're upon it. You're announcing your squad. You're getting your team ready to go to its training base and its training camp. And the first game of the World Cup is just around the corner, so I think excitement, anticipation, there'll be nerves along the way, I'm sure as well. But yeah, we'll be ready.